The Air Force is now seriously exploring a reusable, rocket-powered, vertical takeoff and landing, VTOL, bomber that could launch from almost anywhere and return without needing a runway. This is not a minor upgrade to stealth or payload, it is a reimagining of how long-range strike missions begin and end, especially in a future Indo-Pacific conflict where big air bases may be targeted in the opening hours. Below is a comprehensive, original narrative that explains where this idea comes from, what the concept actually entails, why it matters strategically, what technologies must work for it to be real, who might build it, and how it could reshape deterrence, basing, and the very rhythm of global strike operations. The B-21 Raider is real, advancing, and central to U.S. plans. It is a stealthy, subsonic, penetrating strategic bomber designed to survive in heavily defended airspace and deliver both conventional and nuclear effects. Production is being accelerated, and the aircraft is expected to enter operational service in the near term. But the same strategic environment that justified the B-21 also exposes a vulnerability. The B-21 still depends on runways. In a high-intensity war against a peer adversary with long-range precision missiles, large air bases in the Indo-Pacific could be cratered, saturated, or rendered unusable early on. If your bombers can't get off the ground because their runways are gone, stealth and payload matter far less. That tension has pushed Air Force Global Strike Command, AFGSC, to ask a radical question: what if the next long-range strike platform didn't need a runway at all? The result is a solicitation for a prototype reusable VTOL bomber powered by a liquid propellant rocket engine, capable of vertical launch, high-speed cruise, strike, and vertical landing. Forget B-21 in this context doesn't mean canceling the Raider, it means refusing to let runway dependence define the future of strategic strike. The core idea is deceptively simple to describe and extremely hard to execute. Build a reusable aircraft that takes off vertically like a rocket, transitions to horizontal flight, accelerates to supersonic or even hypersonic speeds, delivers a long-range strike, then returns to its launch point and lands vertically again. Return and vertical landing. It flies back to its launch location or another prepared site and performs a controlled vertical landing, enabling reuse without runway infrastructure. This is not a one-way missile, it is a reusable strike aircraft that treats vertical launch and landing as normal operations. Where the B-21 is optimized for low observability, subsonic endurance, and deep penetration from established bases, this VTOL concept trades some of that for runway independence and speed. It is less about sneaking in slowly and more about launching from anywhere and getting there fast. In doctrinal terms, the B-21 is a stealth penetrator. The VTOL rocket bomber is a high-speed, infrastructure-independent striker that can operate from dispersed, minimally prepared sites. The logic behind this concept is rooted in the anticipated character of future war, especially in the Indo-Pacific. Modern anti-access or area denial strategies rely heavily on the ability to strike fixed infrastructure, runways, fuel farms, command nodes, and hangars. If an adversary can reliably crater runways faster than they can be repaired, traditional bomber operations become fragile. Speed is another layer of survivability. A platform that can cruise at supersonic or hypersonic speeds reduces the time window for enemy air defenses and fighters to react. It also compresses the adversary's decision cycle, creating dilemmas. Do they commit interceptors early and risk deception, or wait and risk being too late? Deterrence by uncertainty. From a deterrence perspective, the mere possibility of such a system changes calculations. An adversary cannot be confident that destroying a handful of major air bases will neutralize U.S. long-range strike. The uncertainty about where these bombers might launch from and how quickly they can strike adds a layer of strategic ambiguity that complicates first strike planning. The solicitation documents obtained by Aviation Week outline a demanding set of technical requirements. This is not a minor modification to existing aircraft. It is a systems challenge spanning propulsion, flight control, materials, and operations. The heart of the concept is a reusable liquid fuel rocket engine capable of multiple flights, rapid turnaround, and safe ground handling. New Frontier Aerospace make reusable liquid propellant engine is frequently cited as closely aligned with these needs, given its work on hypersonic VTOL concepts. Vertical launch and landing demand precise control of thrust direction and magnitude. This is similar in spirit to reusable rocket stages that land vertically, but with the added complexity of sustained atmospheric flight, maneuvering, and strike operations. At supersonic and hypersonic speeds, aerodynamic heating becomes severe. The airframe must use materials that can withstand extreme temperatures on leading edges, nose, and control surfaces, maintain structural integrity under repeated thermal cycling, integration of propulsion, fuel, and payload without excessive weight penalties. Advanced ceramics, refractory metals, and high-temperature composites are likely candidates, but their manufacturability and cost are non-trivial. Autonomous operations. Given the operational concept, dispersed sites, potentially minimal ground crews, high-tempo autonomy is central. This aligns with broader Air Force trends toward autonomous and optionally manned combat aircraft. The requirements narrow the field considerably. Only a few companies currently combine reusable liquid rocket expertise, high-speed flight experience, and interest in military applications. In 2025, New Frontier signed a Cooperative Research and Development Agreement, CRADA, with the Air Force Institute of Technology to advance work on a hypersonic vertical takeoff aircraft, signaling an existing relationship and technical momentum. While not perfect fits today, several other companies possess relevant capabilities that could become important if requirements evolve. The Air Force's rapid timeline, aiming to award a contract within 30 to 45 days after the proposal deadline, suggests a desire to move quickly with the most mature candidate rather than wait for a perfect, all-in-one solution. Consider a crisis in the Western Pacific where major bases in Japan, Guam, or the Philippines are under missile threat. This turns the geography of the island chain from a vulnerability into a network of potential launch points. In a scenario where intelligence identifies a fleeting target, mobile missile launchers, leadership nodes, or emerging nuclear assets, a VTOL bomber's speed and basing flexibility could be decisive. Importantly, this concept is framed as complementary to the B-21, not a replacement. The VTOL bomber would add a different tool, high-speed, runway-independent strike that can operate when and where traditional bombers cannot. The concept is compelling, but the technical, operational, and strategic challenges are substantial. If this program matures beyond a prototype, it could define a new category of military aircraft, part strategic bomber, part reusable hypersonic vehicle, part space access technology. It blurs traditional boundaries. This hybrid character is precisely what makes it interesting and threatening to adversaries.